Hi, my name's Michael and this is Greg, and today we're going to spend a couple of minutes with you revisiting a series that we did in Burn Under Full Force, the cardio video. This was the lateral series, and what you'll see is if you're using our Total Gym GTS, we changed where the pulleys were. So on the pulley at the front of the unit, we had it in the low inside position. On the lap bar on the back, we had the pulley clamp at the high inside position. So we also have the option here with the glide board to level it out. So depending on what feels good for you, you can take it to a position where the board is a little bit more flat or parallel to the ground, or you can work on a decline. Absolutely, that decision is yours, and it's best suited to figure out what works for your clientele. But today, as Greg anchors on, you'll see that this series was focusing on 3 different movements. Really simply, we went into a horizontal shoulder abduction, and then we came back in, and then from here, Greg's going to keep his elbows bent. And the little difference here with our torso rotation was fixing the wrist and the elbows, keeping the elbows bent, and then just turning from the torso. Because the cables are at different levels, it doesn't matter where the hands go, but the idea is to activate the core. And because the cables are low and high, we really want to get that full column of our abs working as one whole unit. Greg's back arm now came into a compound movement where he did a shoulder press. He comes back down, and then he goes back into that torso rotation. Because this is cardio endurance, we need to do enough repetitions so that we build some form of fatigue up here. So in our set, we did 4. I would encourage you, if you have time, to do at least 8 repetitions of that whole set. This is where we started to change it, and we really utilized these cables being at different positions. The next exercise that we did here was a big back circle, or we call that a big guitar strum, our air guitar, and Greg's front arm circles low. It comes all the way around. Here he's got stability. He goes into a little bit of lateral flexion, and he folds forward. Chest is up, and then the back arm goes straight up, and it's a big lobbing movement. And if we just hold it here, you'll see the cable behind him goes right across his lats, tracks across his shoulders and comes above his ears. So having that posterior cable is going to give you a little bit more open or extension into the movement. So if you do that again, Greg, you can bring it all the way around, bring it up, he stays high, and then the back arm lifts up and over. So it's a very complementary movement by doing posterior shoulder, lats here, and into our obliques, and then we flip that to the other side. If we want to make that a little bit tougher, Greg can pull this hand in just a little bit before he starts the movement, so there's some tension, and then he can pull the back circle. Depends on how you want to do it. That was our second series, but this is really the third bit that's the most important for me. What we did here was we went into a high row, we released the cable, then we went into a chest fly. 2 very simple movements that you can easily do on the Total Gym. What's nice here is the lower angle is going to give it a sharper pull, a more defined line for the upper back and the posterior shoulder and the delts. And here we go into chest. This is where we ramped up the intensity. Greg pulled it in, he holds it here, and now he brings the chest fly across. So you'll see straight away that the strength factor fires up dramatically, and then he releases. So it comes in, we come across with the chest, we take it back out, and we release it. And then we sped it up. So it was in, squeeze, release, and out. In, squeeze, release, and out. If you go back to that position where you're just holding it here and here, so in this position what you're looking for, elbows high, wrist is in front of the chest. As we pull here to the chest, you'll find now everything is working right through to the inner thigh and the glutes. So it's a very tough move, but the idea is we wanted to utilize these cables to increase the intensity of the workout. If that's too much for your clients, just stick with the alternating unilateral low and the unilateral chest fly. If, however, you're looking to change the heart rate a little bit and add a little bit more strength, what you can do is increase the chest fly sequence. So I need you to dial back a little bit. When we were doing the upright supine series, we did narrow rows quick and we did wide rows quick. We can do the same thing here. So with Greg pulling in, he can do 6 chest flies, 5, do that again, 4, keep the strength, good, 3, pull it across, 2, you've got 1 more, good, and then we release it down. So can you see here what you could do is to add a little bit extra to that set is just to focus on that very last bit by pulling in and then doing 6 flies instead of 3. So it's going to increase that cardio capacity, it's going to have a big impact on the strength, and it's going to have a massive effect on the total workout. So I hope you enjoy that little addition to our clip for our lateral series.